Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff has unveiled a series of reforms in an attempt to end days of nationwide anti-government protests. In a televised address to the nation, she said that she would draft a new plan to benefit public transport and that all oil royalties would be used in education. Rousseff, in her address, said that thousands of doctors would be drafted in from overseas to improve the National Health Service as well.
Se aproveitarmos bem o impulso dessa nova energia política, poderemos fazer melhor e mais rápido muita coisa que o Brasil ainda não conseguiu realizar por causa de limitações políticas e econômicas. Mas se deixarmos que a violência nos faça perder o rumo, estaremos não apenas desperdiçando uma grande oportunidade histórica, como também correndo o risco de colocar muita coisa a perder. Em relação à Copa, quero esclarecer que o dinheiro do governo federal gasto com as arenas é fruto de financiamento que será devidamente pago pelas empresas e os governos que estão explorando estes estádios. Jamais permitiria que esses recursos saíssem do orçamento público federal, prejudicando setores prioritários como a saúde e a educação.
Earlier yesterday, Dilma Rousseff held an emergency meeting to discuss the protests. The demonstrations began over transport fare rises in Sao Paulo, but quickly grew into rallies across the country against corruption and other issues. On Thursday night, more than 1 million people took to the streets, and there was violence in various cities, in which dozens were injured and 2 people were killed. Yesterday, over 1,000 people marched in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil's economic growth fell short of forecasts in the first quarter as President Dilma Rousseff's numerous stimulus packages failed to aid manufacturers, while consumers, frightened by rising inflation, grew more conservative. Even a record corn and soy harvest and a rebound in investments were not enough to avoid disappointing gross domestic product growth of just 0.6%. Undeterred in its battle against high inflation, the Brazilian central bank raised its benchmark interest rate to 8% from 7.5%. Inflation, now running at 6.46% on an annual basis, has put Brazil in the uncomfortable position of needing to raise interest rates despite the slow economic growth, highlighting the imbalances in the economy. The protest began with the government's decision to hike public transport fees by 20 cents in Sao Paulo to $1.50 per trip. However, anger over the increase spread across the country and transformed into massive protests.
News First contacted the Sri Lankan Deputy Ambassador to Brazil, Major General Kamal Gunaratne, for more on the situation in Brazil.
The youth, the educated and the uneducated, the laborers and the rich and everyone have stepped onto the streets and are staging demonstrations. Usually everyone goes to work during the day and at night they take part in the demonstrations. There are over 200 million people here. If you take a look at all the cities, around 1 million people have taken part in these protests. The president addressed the nation via television yesterday. We need to see how it has impacted the people. But it is not as violent as it looks. When I left Sao Paulo today, I witnessed a protest. However, it did not affect the usual activities in the city. There are demonstrations, but the government has assured that transport fares will be reduced. I think this will be resolved and there is no need to panic.
NTV Sports News First, brought to you by
Unleash your child's amazing power to learn.
Welcome back. Area residents charged that the risk of landslides occurring in the Kumbhagala mountain in Bulat Kopitia is a cause of concern and distress. This report is filed by News First correspondent in Kegol, A. Samanpriya.
The Kumbhagala mountain is situated in the Hal Ulwa Gramanidari division, which comes under the purview of the Bulat Kopitia Divisional Secretariat. The main source of income for the residents in the area is farming. Area residents say that landslides have been a constant threat since 1986 for the nearly 75 families living at the foot of the Kohomagala mountain.
In 1987, an individual died when he was buried in a landslide. Thereafter, a family who lived close by was also buried. We couldn't even recover the bodies. We are living in fear. When it rains, we evacuate to a house in another area. It is with great difficulty that our children go to school. We cannot even live in our houses comfortably. When it rains, we all evacuate from this area. We have informed the divisional and district secretariats. We even informed politicians, but no one has paid any attention. There is no point in informing government officials. We earn a living through labour work. There is no point returning home after work and see people buried in landslides.
Area residents charge that attention has not been focused on this problem despite public representatives entering Parliament and the Provincial Council from this area. District Secretary of Galle, Tusitha P. Vanigasinghe says that although alternative lands were offered to the area residents, they have refused to move from their homes. Vanigasinghe added that maps have been drawn up on landslide-prone areas and area residents have been informed about the special safety plan initiated through disaster management committees in the event of a disaster. That is the question posed by area residents.
News first in Mama A. Samanpriya, Kohomagala, Kandu Pamula Sita.
Crocodile attack since 2012 claims 5 lives in the Nilvala River in Mathura. Disaster Management Centre, Mathura District. The crocodile menace repeatedly highlighted on News First. Discussions to set up crocodile enclosures in crocodile-infested areas for the safety of the people. However, the remains of a woman who was attacked by a crocodile found in the Kardua area yesterday. Why have authorities failed to take steps to implement programs such as setting up crocodile enclosures even when there is a clear need for safety measures? Can we allow further loss of human life due to crocodile attacks?
An event to mark the birth centenary of late Sri Chandraratna Manavasinghe, the erudite Sinhala scholar, poet and philosopher, was marked yesterday.
The memorial ceremony, which was held at the Foundation Institute in Colombo yesterday, was attended by religious leaders, intellectuals and artists. There was an incident related to a university where monks engaged in a march and climbed on top of cars. Manavasinghe wrote that a time may come where monks would lose composure, engage in marches and take over the duties of the police. I think that has happened today. He predicted the future and said these are things which will not suit the clergy.
අපේ මානවසිංහ මේ මහා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ මිනිසයා ගඳ දෙයට ගඳයි කියාපු හොඳ දෙයට සුවඳයට සුවඳයි කියාපු මිනිස්සෙක්. බොහෝ විට
Most of the time what we do is we work to please others.
කඩියන විතර රෙදි හොදන එක. එතුමා රෙදි හොදපු නැති මිනිස්සෙක් අනුව.
He was not one of those people. He wrote what needs to be written and said what needs to be said.
On tonight's Words of Wisdom segment, we take a look at the words said by the current President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
A change is brought about because ordinary people do extraordinary things. Barack Obama, US President.
An event was held in Balapitiya today to mark the 89th birth anniversary of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa, which falls tomorrow.
Floral tributes were laid at the Ranasinghe Premadasa statue erected in Piyagama, Balapitiya. Family members of the late president were present for the occasion.
අපි නිර්භීතව එඩිතරව ඇත්ත ඇතිසටින් ප්‍රකාශ කරලා රට වෙනුවෙන් තීන්දුව අරගෙන.
Dear friends, we should be strong and brave to speak the truth. We should make decisions on behalf of the country. The undefeated United National Party that Ranasinghe Premadasa dreamt of experienced certain setbacks in the recent past. However, in our journey ahead, let us strive to make this party a party that can take on the responsibility of the country's future and protect our motherland with the power and strength of the people.
A 5-month-old infant was found abandoned close to a railway track in Colombo this morning.
This infant, now in the care of the nurses at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children, was found by the police near the railway tracks located in close proximity to the Lake House roundabout in Colombo at around 7:45 this morning. Police handed over the infant to the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children. The Office for the Police Media spokesperson said the Colombo Fort Police are conducting investigations to locate the parents of the infant, who is currently receiving treatment at the hospital.
There was some evidence that the baby was harmed physically. We are yet to identify those in medical legal sense, but at the moment child's status is very good. In addition to that, I want to appeal to the public. This is the Foson season. We all must get together to stop this kind of the bad situations in Sri Lanka, and it is for the next generation to if we get together and do everything possible to stop these kind of things, then we can safeguard our next generation for the future.
Heart-wrenching incidents of infants being abandoned by parents were reported over the past couple of months. On the 1st of April this year, a day-old infant was found abandoned under an anicut in the Watawala area in Hatton. Also in April, an infant was found left inside a car at a car park next to the Kalutara Bridge. On the 1st of January this year, a woman abandoned her 3 children at a bus stand in Bandaragama.